Hi. Hi everyone, welcome back to Melting the Ice podcast. Welcome back to Melting the Ice podcast, a podcast where we melt away our insecurities, we melt away our limitations, we melt away all the things that are holding us back. Actually, right now it's more than a podcast, it's a whole brand, it's a channel, and only God knows what it will become in the future. So welcome back to Melting the Ice, this channel where we melt away our insecurities, the things that are holding us back, and then we emerge as the best version of ourselves. Are you ready to melt away? Stay tuned. Today's episode 20, yes, 20 of the She Wins Anyway series, a series where we come here and we understand that we get to win no matter what. We get to rise above our limitations. We get to overcome, not just overcome, we get to reign through the rain. We get to shine despite any limitation, any fear we might have. This is She Wins Anyways, and you're exactly where you need to be. So welcome. Grab your water. I have my water right there. Grab your drink, make yourself comfortable, grab your snacks, whatever it is that you need. Let's get right into it. So, how are you doing today? I don't know if this is the first episode you're finding of from my channel and from this series. Either way, I want to tell you a warm welcome. I'm so happy to have you here. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So, how to start without shrinking? Yes, let's get right into it. By the way, I have my laptop right here. How to start without shrinking? How do you do that? How do you sell without shrinking? It's just one word. You sell without shrinking by simply knowing that you are an empress. Now you get to win anyways. Yesterday's episode, I spoke about performing. I spoke about the dangers of performance, and you can check that out on my channel. I'll try to link the link down below. But I talk about performance and the importance of no longer having to wear this mask to perform. So check that out if you feel like it's something that you need to hear. Just click on my channel and then watch the episode before this one, and you should be able to find it. Um, so how do you sell without shrinking or performing? Yesterday I spoke about no longer shrinking, and I think the very first episode of this series, the very first episode was about how I myself stopped shrinking, in my personal story. But I'm going to share it again here because I feel like it's important, and maybe you haven't watched that past episode, so it's worth talking about. So me personally, since I was born, I always knew I had a gift to give clarity to others. I didn't quite have the word clarity, but I always knew that I felt so good when I felt like what I shared made someone's life better. And people will come to me with their problems, with the things they couldn't understand. And for some reason, they told me that I always knew what to say. They told me that, how come you always know what to tell me, human? And I was very shocked by that because I felt like, wow, how come I just speak from my heart and people tell me that I just know what to say? And even then, I didn't quite realize that it was a gift, right? I didn't quite realize that it was something that made me different, that made me special. And this is very important because oftentimes the things that make us special, the things that really set us apart from others, we think that those things are normal because they're normal for us. They come so naturally for us. They come so easy for us. We think that everyone can do that. We think that everyone can do the things we can do. And that is so far from the truth, because just because you can do it so well doesn't mean everyone can do it. There's a reason why God put that thing within you, because He wants you to use that gift to serve the community, to serve your community, the ones you were born to serve, the ones that literally made God create that gift in you, because He knew a time will come for you to use that gift to serve them. Okay, so the thing that you're so good at that makes you think the thing you're so good at that you think it's so simple, that is like an indicator that there's actually something there. There's something there. So back to my story, right? People always came to me and I always spoke from my heart, and I felt like I always knew how to tell people what they were going through. I could literally look at someone and I can be like, I think you're really good at this. I can feel like I could literally have a person going through meet a person going through so much, and I could almost like walk them on a journey, and I'll do it so easily. I'll walk them on a journey, and then before they know it, they're exactly where they wanted to be. I'll guide them in that journey, and I'll do it so effortlessly that by the time they realize where I was taking them to, almost like I'll be like, hey, come, let's talk about this. Actually, they'll come to me and I'll be like, yeah, let's talk about this. And I'll just be like, walk with me on this journey. And as we walk together, I'll just ask some questions and I'll literally just effortlessly help them land at this place where they wanted to be. And I'll be like, hey, you're here now. So I was doing that, but I didn't even realize that I was doing that. People would just tell me that, wow, I just love talking to you. I feel so safe talking to you. And I always tell people that I'm so good at telling you your gifts. I'm so good at helping you ground, helping you land. I'm so good at all of these things. But what are my gifts? And it's so funny, right? Like I just mentioned, the thing, the thing that you're so good at, you think it's so like you take it for granted. You think everyone can do that. You think it's so simple. And that was the same case for me. I always ask some of my friends and be like, "What am I good at?" I'm so good at telling people what they're good at. And some of my beautiful, loving friends, somebody is playing music in the neighborhood. Oh my god, I apologize for the background noise. I should have closed my window, but we move. So, oh my god. Okay, so where was I? I lost my train of thought. So I was saying that sometimes I'll ask my lovely friends and I'll be like, "Hey, what do you think I'm good at? What do you think I'm good at?" And they'll literally just tell me that, "Yo, man, I don't really know, because the thing is, that's the seeking permission. That's the performance. You go around asking everyone. When you yourself can feel that thing. What is that thing that you are so good at that you just do so easily for others that you don't really realize? Now, some people can benefit from that gift, but they can't really know what it is. So, if you have a person who is very observant of you, maybe a person that you can trust who has known you for the longest time, and ask them. And if this person doesn't know, then fine, ask someone else. But the most likely most likely, someone told me that I always look outside the window doing my videos because people are walking past my windows in my neighborhood. So I'm always like, who's that? Anyways, let's get back into it. So if there's something that you know you're so good at, something that you know you do so effortlessly, begin to write down those things. What is so easy for you right now? Because what is easy for you is where you start. And now you may be thinking, why are you sharing all this story, human? I'm so sorry for the background noise, y'all. Now you may be thinking, human, why is all this stuff relevant? Human, why is this even relevant? 1 second, I'm going to mute myself for just a couple of minutes. Okay, hi y'all. So I had to mute myself because there was just so much background noise. I apologize for that. So what is that one thing you do? The reason why I'm sharing this story is because I feel like you might think this is not relevant, but this is so relevant because the way to stop shrinking and sell is to first of all be aware of that thing you do so effortlessly. That is the first thing. Because how do you sell when you don't even know what your gift is? You have no idea what you're offering. How do you make an offer when you yourself, the person making the offer, is not aware of the thing you're even offering? That doesn't make any sense, right? That's the reason why I share this whole background story. I hope I'm sounding loud enough. That's the reason why I share this whole background story about my gift, about a little bit snippet of my story, because I feel like you need to know that thing that makes you you, that thing that makes you unique. Because depending on what that thing is, that's the place you're going to create your offer from. That's the place you're going to sell from. And when it comes to shrinking, right? When you're aware of that offer, and then you're aware of that offer, right? And you no longer ashamed of it because now you're like, this is me, and you're able to own that. Where is the shrinking? When you remember that this gift came to you from God and that it's meant to serve a whole community, why will you shrink? That's the secret. How do you sell without shrinking? You become convinced about your own gift first. You realize what my stomach is rumbling, sorry. You realize what your gifts are first and foremost. And of course, you won't know what all of them are. But when you can have a couple of them, 2 or 3 even, that's more than enough for you to start thinking, okay, God, I have this 3 gift. Actually, bring out a piece of paper right now. As you're watching this, pause the video, get a pen or a pencil, and get paper, and write down what are 3 things that come to me so effortlessly. What are 3 things I do so easily I don't even realize? Write those 3 things down, right? And then ask yourself, you don't have to do this actually right now, but you can pause the video and do them. But you can just watch the whole video and then do it later. But write down the questions. What are 3 things I do so effortlessly? Write it down and then leave space. Just leave like 3 pages. All right. Another question you're going to ask yourself is, what can I start to offer from these 3 things? What can I create from these 3 things? And this will take this might take longer. So it might take a couple of days. Every single day, you put a timer on your phone and then you just write whatever comes to you as to the 3 things that you can create from those things you're naturally good at. This is for those who don't have offers yet. If you have offers yet, thank you so much for staying for this long. If you have offers yet, I feel like this technique I just gave you might still help you because you might have offers that you don't really feel are close to your heart. Maybe that's the reason why you're shrinking because you don't really believe in them. So even if you do have offers, doing this exercise will never hurt you. So you can still go back and do them. Now, if you really have offers that you are selling that are already on the market and you feel like you're shrinking around those offers, you really have to ask yourself, who am I doing it for? Am I selling this to please others? Am I selling this because I have an assignment to serve the world? Am I doing this because I want to be validated? Am I doing this because I know that this product will make the world a better place? What are your original intentions for creating this offer? Write these questions down. What are my original intentions for creating this offer? And if you realize that your intentions are grounded in what I call the worldview, and the worldview just simply people's perspective of you, how people see you, the validation, the attention. If you feel like that offer is grounded in those things, then you really have to divorce those ideas, right? You have to let go. I see there's someone here. Hi. You have to divorce those ideas if you feel like that offer is grounded on those three things: attention, validation, what I call the worldview. And you really have to shift that and put it in God's view. How do you do that? By no longer focusing on the attention and the validation, but instead focusing on the confirmation. And the confirmation is the thing that you felt in your heart, the confirmation that God gave you about your offer. I see the person left. Anyways, I love it when you all come to these lives because it actually helps me grow and expand so much more. Let's get right back into it. So instead of grounding it in the world, you ground it in God's view, the confirmation, the thing you felt in your heart that made you first want to create this offer. Who needs this offer? That's a confirmation that you felt in your heart, that thing that made you think, I want to do this, right? So you really have to and divorce your remove and divorce your course from that thing, from that worldview, and ground it in God's view. Because when you're focused on the worldview, you're always going to be shrinking. Because today they might like you. For example, as I was going live right now, someone joined here. You notice I said hi, and then the person left. And if I was only doing this for validation and accolades, I would have just collapsed right now. And did it feel great? I mean, it didn't sting, but I felt it didn't feel great. It didn't feel great even for me at this point, right? But the reason why I'm able to just keep going and able to even have the level of ground, the level of, I don't even know how to call it, the level of growth where I can mention it so lightly and I can literally help you guys draw lessons from it is because of how much work I've done on myself, because of how much work and attention I've done on myself, which is the work I feel like you need to do too. If you want to stop shrinking and you want to sell, the first thing I'll tell you is that the reason why you're also shrinking is because you haven't owned all your crowns yet. And what are your crowns? I feel like every woman was born to be an empress. Every girl, every woman is an empress. So I feel like when you start to shrink and you start to perform, start to be this people pleaser, it's because that part of you that you're running away from, that part of you that you have really divorced, that you have really abandoned, and it's showing up as you wanting to shrink because part of you doesn't think that you're enough. And the journey of owning your crowns is the journey of really embracing all of you as you were made, as God created you, embracing all of you and knowing that despite your imperfection, despite the little weird things you might do from time to time, as I am here, I have a stutter and, I come out here and I don't always feel perfect, but I know that I'm so fully crowned. I know that I'm beautiful no matter what. So that is a journey, right? Understanding that you can't have your sense of self-worth into these things. You really have to break that idea. That is what I call background noise. I'm so sorry. That is what I call truly owning your crowns. Owning all your crowns is really being able to accept yourself in the full entirety of who you are. Because when you can honestly do that, honestly, the sky is the limit. Actually, the sky begins, your journey begins in the sky. The sky is no longer the limit. The sky is like the gate. The sky becomes the door to your next level, the door to your next version, to the next best version of yourselves. Do you feel like that's something that you want to go into? Are you interested in becoming this person? But the sky is not her limit. The sky is like her beginning. Because I feel like when you begin to know how amazing you are and you begin to look at the sky and marvel at the sky, that is you. You marvel at the stars, no matter how imperfect they are. When you look at the sky at night, are the stars arranged in a perfect straight line? If all the stars were like lined up in a straight line, I don't think they'll look as beautiful as they do to us because they'll be boring. When you look at the sky in different places, they look different. The stars are just doing their thing, and that is what makes them unique. Because the thing that makes you unique is the thing that makes you you. Is the thing that makes you more beautiful, and that is what I call owning your crown. Is really learning to hold all of that together. I created this free thing, amazing offer called Crown Codes. It's 11 days of shedding, 11 days of revelations, 11 days of growth, 11 days of remembrance of your crowns. Each day, you do work, and each day there's a lie in there that will completely strip you off and will help you remember who you were before you believe that lie. And the really fun thing you can do is that when you look at that lie and you're doing the, and I suggest you write down that lie in your journal or your book where you write, and as you reflect on that lie, I have something called the unmasking. So you read the lie, you read the unmasking, and then you ask yourself, what other lie am I holding on to that stems from this lie? When you have that in your journal, and then you're gonna write and journal on that, right? And what I'll do is that is you notice that you no longer feel to shrink because the parts of you that wanted to shrink are no longer there because then you've stripped them away. That offer is down below, and if you do decide to sign up because you feel like you deserve it because you're an empress and you do, it might end up in your junk email, it might end up in your spam. So just be aware of that. So I have that for you. If you feel like, Roman, you know what? I really like Crown Codes. It's 11 days, but I just want something that I can start doing today. I want something that will just be in one day. I have what I call Crown Activation. And Crown Activation, Crown Activation is actually really good because Crown Activation compresses everything together. All the 11 days, all the I'm so sorry, y'all. All the 11 days that work, it compresses it into literally 1 hour and 20 minutes. And that's nice because whenever you feel like you want to shrink, whenever you feel like you want to perform, you can just pull up that thing from your ad website. So it's so easy. You sign up and you can even bookmark it. You sign up and then you can just go back and you can just like watch the training. It's in 3 parts. It comes with the crown codes. So if you go ahead and you get crown codes down below, sorry, if you go ahead, there's so much noise outside, I'm so sorry, I get distracted. If you go ahead and you get crown activation, you don't have to get crown codes via that link because crown codes will be included in your offer. Okay, oh my god. Oh my god, I'm getting so distracted by that noise outside. Oh, I'm so sorry. So if you go ahead and you do get crown codes, sorry, crown activation, you get crown codes. But if you feel like you want to just start with crown codes 11-day journey, the link is literally down below. Offer that to yourself. The reason why it's so good because when you learn to remove those masks, when you learn to let go of what is no longer you, you can really emerge as the person that you always want to be without trying to fix yourself, without trying to do something to yourself. It happens very naturally. I myself on this journey where I'm shedding and I'm unlearning. Every single day I come on here, I feel a shift because I'm no longer holding on to mass and perceptions that no longer serve me. I'm no longer trying to control. I'm no longer tied to the idea that I have to control everything before I can show up the way I was born to be. I'm literally showing up as my real self every single day. And that's different because some days I might be more fiery, I might be more energetic, and some days I can just have more calm energy. And some days I can be in the middle. I get to be whoever I want to be each day. I don't have to be in a box. If you feel like you want to be free, you want to really be the empress you were born to be, and you really want to own all those parts of yourself, then you really want to choose between those offers. If you feel like you really want to start to create your courses, sell, whether you have 0 views or whether you have 1 view, you want to be in what I call 0 views fully crowned, and the link is literally down below. There's so much commotion in my house, in my neighborhood today. There's so much noise, and it's making me very uncomfortable. But I'm still gonna keep going. I'm still gonna keep going because that's what we do here. We win anyways. So if you feel like you want all those things, the links is literally down below. I have to go right now, but choose your offer. Stop shrinking, stop performing. Whether you're going to crown codes, 11 the coronation, crown activation, the compression of that into 1 hour for the woman who wants to move fast, or you feel like you want to start charging boldly for your offers, you want to go into 0 views fully crown, where we learn to laugh, we learn to reign, and we learn to boldly charge for our magic because the whole point of you watching this video is because you want to sell. So you want to be in 0 views fully crown, where you learn to remove your prices from the external things that people tell you that you need. Learn to know that, okay, even if I have 10 subscribers, I charge my magic the same. Because subscribers are not what anoint you. God already anointed you. Subscribers don't anoint you. God anointed you. So in Zero Waste Fully Crowned, we really learn to really break the idea that your external appearance has something to do with how you're supposed to be charging. You really learn to divorce all those ideas, and you learn to really remember that you're fully crowned. Whether you have 1 view, 0 views, 10,000 views, you are fully crowned, and you learn to charge in that course. In that course, to also inspire you to create your first offer in that course. If you want to create a first offer, it's not every single step. If you want me to create a course on that, I can do that. But I inspire you, and I walk you through steps. I give you ideas, I give you notes, I give you powerful codes to start to create your first offer or whatever offer you want to create. All those are available for you. And today I felt very uncomfortable. I felt more uncomfortable today than any day. I felt more discomfort than any day, but I was also more relaxed than any other day. And this is proof of my growth because I'm doing my work, because I'm remembering my crowns and I'm so showing up. So if that's you, choose your offer down below and crown yourself. I love you so much and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye, my love.